So that's why we're on strike today, and I stand in solidarity with those workers.
Chris, we're out of time, but thank you for your time and joining us on today's programme.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm back in half an hour's time. Just the latest, we have that breaking development from Washington about Abrams tanks. We've had that move from Germany, so plenty more on that. We have a Pentagon briefing at 6 o'clock as well, so hopefully you can join me then. And that's after Focus on Africa. See you in a bit.
BBC World News, the biggest African and international news stories. Focus on Africa.
Hello, I'm Sophie Ikenye. Welcome to Focus on Africa. Our stories today: tensions flare between the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda after a DR Congo fighter jet is allegedly shot at close to the border between the two countries.
Yesterday I was here and I heard a loud bang that went boom. When I looked up, I saw a plane with flames and smoke. We all panicked.
Back home, Tanzanian opposition leader and former presidential candidate Tundu Lissu returns to the country after 5 years in exile. Protests in South Africa over prolonged power cuts. Hundreds of opposition supporters take to the streets. Also in the program, can Africa be the breadbasket of the world? We hear what plans leaders who are meeting in Senegal have come up with. And in sport, former English Premier League referee Mark Clattenburg quits his role at the Egyptian Referees Committee. Thanks for joining us on Focus on Africa from BBC World News. Now, the Congolese government has described the shooting of one of its fighter jets by Rwanda as a deliberate action amounting to an act of war. DRC has denied that a fighter jet entered Rwandan airspace on Tuesday evening. It said the aircraft was attacked while approaching landing at the country's airport in Goma. Now, for its part, Rwanda says it's the third time a fighter jet from DR Congo had violated its airspace. The incident took place in the eastern DRC on the border between the two countries at about 5 o'clock local time. Now, in a statement, the Rwandan government said it took defensive measures against the jet, but did not elaborate what they were. Kinshasa was clear in its assessment of what happened. It said Rwandan shots were directed towards a Congolese aircraft, a deliberate action that amounts to an act of war. Well, tensions have been building between the two nations. On the ground, the DRC accuses Rwanda of supporting M23 rebels, and these are allegations denied by Kigali. Now, this is how people on the ground in DR Congo who witnessed what happened reacted. And Soy, thank you so much indeed for bringing us up to speed with the situation in that region. Thank you. Now, Tanzanian opposition leader and former presidential candidate Tundu Lissu has returned home after several years of self-imposed exile in Belgium. Mr. Lissu vied unsuccessfully for president in 2020. He returned after President Samia Suluhu Hassan lifted a ban on political rallies this month that were imposed by her predecessor, John Magufuli. Alfred Lastek, who was at the airport in Dar es Salaam today as Mr. Lissu was welcomed. Well, in South Africa, hundreds of supporters of the country's main opposition party, the Democratic Alliance, marched in Johannesburg to protest against worsening power cuts across the country. The march ended at the headquarters of the governing ANC party. The regular blackouts have been blamed on the government's poor management of the power utility, that's Eskom, and an aging fleet of coal-fired stations. Our Southern Africa correspondent Pumza Fihlani was at the demonstration in Johannesburg. Let's now take a quick look at other stories making headlines across Africa. Health officials have confirmed a cholera outbreak in Abia State. 3 people have died and 16 others are being treated in a hospital, according to the Nigeria's Centers for Disease Control. A total of 583 deaths from cholera have been recorded, while 23,550 people are suspected to have been infected from January to November 27, 2022. Somalia has marked a key step in its bid to join the East African community as its 8th member. Experts from the 7 EAC member countries will be in Mogadishu for the next week. That's to establish the country's level of conformity with the criteria of being admitted to the bloc. The Horn of Africa country made an unsuccessful bid to join the EAC in 2012. Now, the Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has started an official visit to India. His trip includes high-level talks with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Negotiations include bilateral, regional and global issues. Mr. Sisi is also the principal foreign dignitary invited to attend India's Republic Day celebrations. Still to come, we have all the sport as we speak to Rugby Sevens star Collins Injera following his announcement to retire.
The BBC News Komla Dumo Award is about excellent journalism. It's about finding that talent on the continent that can help us tell the African story wholly and widely.
African journalists should enter this award because it's a great opportunity to make yourself better as a journalist and to grow your career.
The winner of this award gets an opportunity to come and spend 3 months in London and work with some of the world's best journalists. This is the stage that would elevate their journalism.
My scripting has improved, my interviewing skills have become better.
Any journalist worth their salt should be applying for this award.
My whole idea of storytelling has been turned on its head.
And it widens your scope of understanding of profound journalism and how else you can tell African stories.
Whatever it is that you have may be what the BBC is looking for. You need to take this opportunity seriously and apply.
For more details on how to apply, please visit bbc.com/Komla Dumo.
Welcome back. You're watching Focus on Africa from BBC World News. The trial of former Mauritanian President Mohamed Ould Abdelaziz has started. He's among 11 other figures from his former regime charged with corruption, money laundering and illicit enrichment that's dating from his time in power from 2009 to 2019. Well, let's go straight to the BBC Afrique's Caroline Lawyer, who is in Nouakchott and has been following the trial for us. Caroline, what was the scene like outside court today? All right, Caroline Lawyer for us there in Nouakchott. Thank you. Now, how do you boost Africa's agricultural output to $1 trillion by 2030? That's what Senegal, the African Development Bank and the African Union Commission are thrashing out at a summit themed Feed Africa, Food Sovereignty and Resilience. They will be exploring ways to meet the challenge of food security in Africa and strengthen the continent's resilience to future shocks. Our reporter Nicola Negos is at the summit. All right, let's now find out what's happening in the world of sport, Mimi.
Thank you very much, Sophie. Now, of course, we're going to start with former Premier League referee Mark Clattenburg, who has resigned from his position as the president of the Egyptian Referees Committee after only 5 months in charge. The Egyptian Football Association released a statement on Wednesday confirming that an emergency meeting had accepted the 47-year-old's departure. Egyptian journalist Mohamed Kudba with more on the story. That's all the sport. We have a lot more on the BBC Sport Africa website. The African Nations Championship, or CHAN, the quarterfinals lineup is now all set. More on our website. Sophie?
You know, you forgot to remind everyone that Collins Injera is pure Kenyan.
Absolutely Kenyan, star, global star, both.
Right. All right. So feel free to get in touch with me and some of the team on social media. I'm at Ikenye. But that's Focus on Africa for now. Thank you so much for your company. Bye-bye.